We have a little tradition welcoming the new guys.
Blake Jenner, Tyler Hoechlin, and Will Britton star in Everybody Wants Some.
Welcome to the big time, boys.
Oh, my nuts!
A coming-of-age film about a group of college baseball players navigating their way through the freedoms and responsibilities of unsupervised adulthood.
Hey, ladies. Party later tonight at the baseball houses.
You should be investing this energy elsewhere.
Lesbians.
You guys seem to get along very well.
Nah, not so much. Yeah, it's all an act.
It's all an act.
All an act.
We're good actors.
We're so excited to have you in Columbus. Welcome here to Central Ohio.
Thanks for
First
having
time
us.
here for you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
First time here. Well, welcome. So everybody wants some. I'm asking you the question that everyone's asking. What is it about?
What is it about?
Well, I think the trick is that it's got no plot.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
it's
sort of the subtle thing of it.
It's a movie about, I mean, the essential part of the theme of it really is going off to college, that initial experience of like freedom, and it's the first time that you are the person who's solely responsible for your actions, and you kind of have the consequences is all due to what you decide to make it. And it's just that I remember going off to school and that first time, meeting new people with new ideas and backgrounds, and it can be overwhelming, but in this situation, Blake here, his character is going in to be with the baseball team, and so there's some level of comfort and just kind of finding where you fit in.
Yeah, and I always say that it's like, a message to everyone saying like, styles change, fads change, music changes, but like finding yourself and, having fun with your friends and figuring out where your niche is within a group and life in general, that never changes. So.
Yeah.
And it's set in the 80s, so did you have to think about the 80s without obviously being around back then? How much did you guys have to prepare for the time period?
Well, I think we all did a little bit of preparation coming into it, but then once we got the role, we were invited out to Rick's ranch or farm to go and rehearse the script and workshop and everything. And during that process, Rick really sort of dialed in what the 80s was, and the traditions, the customs, in terms of just like pop culture references, handshakes, how you would act with your buddies. There wasn't a lot of hugging back then. We found out.
No hugs.
We're big huggers.
Yeah.
Rick called us the hugging generation.
The hugging generation.
We like to hug it
that.
out. Yeah, but there wasn't like the the dap and then the hug. It was more just a quick handshake.
Handshakes, yeah.
So it's just little things like that we dialed in to sort of make it come to life.
They were billing it as a spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused. What does that mean, spiritual sequel?
I remember sitting on set one day, and there was a shot of Wyatt Russell, who plays Willoughby, and I was just watching him in like his tie-dye shirt, like playing cards and having a cigarette, and that was the moment that I saw, and I was like, okay, I understand what they mean by it. It's got that same kind of look and feel to it, where you understand why it's being kind of like referenced that way. But the characters, no one's from Dazed and Confused. The storyline doesn't have anything to do with Dazed and Confused, but it's just, I think, similar in the way that it's a classic Richard Linklater movie, and it's a window into this time, and it's it's an experience that you kind of just go through.
Yeah.
It's very timeless.
Yeah.
What drew you to the role?
I always say for all of us, I kind of answer this as Rick himself.
Really?
Rick's an amazing director, and I think it was like a dream come true for all of us to be involved. First it was Rick auditioning, and then I think when all of us had the chance to read the script during the audition process, we were hooked.
Right.
Yeah.
It seemed like you had a lot of fun. I mean, the movie seems fun. Was that the experience taping it too?
Yeah, it was. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life. And most of the times you come in movies, it's fun to make a movie. It's always fun to make a movie, for me at least. But you don't often meet guys in the movie that you can call your best friends and stay in touch with later on in life. And that's sort of the thing that we all found out going into this process is like, wow, not only is this going to be a blast, but these guys are a lot like me, and they're great guys, and I'm going to know these guys for the rest of my life. And so that just added to the fun, just fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So why should people go see this movie? I'll have each of you answer. Start with you.
To me, the greatest thing when we finally saw it back is I feel like it's been a long time, and it really doesn't happen that often now, where you can go to see a movie and spend 2 hours there and come out knowing 12 characters and actually knowing them. I think it's, a lot of times it's, this happens and then this happens and then this blows up, and then you kind of have like your resolution. Where like this, it's not that thing. There's not the protagonist, antagonist, conflict, and we're done. It's you sit and have an experience. You get to know these guys, and I think everyone can relate to these characters, or like pick out someone who like, oh, I went to school with that guy, or that was me at one point. And I think that's the most important thing in storytelling, is being able to kind of relate to something like that. I think that's what's great, and that's what this movie is.
Yeah, I think in a day and age where people go and we see a ton of like 3D movies, like this is a movie that you can feel like you're there without all that. It's very interactive, just like intellectually. So I think people can go, feel part of the party, have a great time, get to know all these guys, and just leave with kind of thinking about life in a different perspective, I think.
Yeah, just going off what these guys said, it's like, when you go out on a date, but you have no plans, but it ends up just becoming the best date ever because you just ride around and you experience, you have a good time. That's what this movie is. And in the process, I think there's a few little subtleties in there that sort of strike you in the heart and kind of remind you of how great life is,
Cool. Well, thanks, guys, so much for joining us. Everybody wants some. We want everybody to go see it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Go see it, guys. Everybody wants some. Go.